a DJ Whiteout exclusive.
Son of Sin, timeless music, the movement. This is dedicated to all my gold diggers.
I admit that I miss you.
I do.
No regrets, don't forget who done this to. So let's pretend like we never danced. I am gone, babe, you don't get a second chance.
Let's go.
I admit that I miss you.
I do.
No regrets, don't forget who done this
You
to.
diss me, baby.
So let's pretend like we never danced. I am gone, babe, you don't get a second chance. It's like a slipping.
Welcome back to Beyond the Journal. I am Lawrence, and I'm not even going to say it. I've got a shirt on, so she can
wore it?
read my shirt,
You wore it.
and then she can say something.
Hi, guys.
There it is. She read the shirt. It says "Say hi, Aaron."
So stupid.
Clever. All right, let's jump right into the show. I don't even want to know how anybody's doing. I just want to jump into the show. We have
No, we
so
should
much.
talk about how we're doing. We should totally talk about that. How are you doing, Lawrence?
I'm fine. Thanks.
How's your energy?
Good.
Is it?
Yep.
You sound really good.
I'm good.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
You're not going to ask how I am? No. Okay.
All right.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Hey guys, I'm actually doing okay. Almost had a heart attack, but made it through. But I'm all right. Thanks. I'm so happy to be here with you, Lawrence. Thanks so much for
Okay.
caring. Thanks for caring. All right.
you.
So what are we talking about today?
Let's start NBA. We always like to start with the basketball. That's where our foundation is. Let's start with the NBA. We're in the championship, huh? LeBron James is back in the championship, and he walked off the court before the game was over.
He did.
What?
He did.
Is that okay?
So,
Is that okay?
I know. I want to know. Do you think that's okay?
No. So I remember when Isaiah Thomas did it to the Bulls when Jordan and his team finally beat them, and I thought it was kind of poor sportsmanship back then. And you're in the middle of a series. You know, you stay till the end, you fight. So I don't agree with this.
Okay, so a couple people shared some opinions in our DMs. So our friend Carl Flanagan, who we love, CK Flano.
CK Flano.
He's always so great to us and gives such great feedback and comments. He said that it knocks him out of the GOAT conversation completely for him. And I was like, okay. So then Jay Will went on a rant and leave LeBron alone. Enough. He has emotions. He's a human. Enough. So I sent it to him. And he was like, all right, I hear you, right? And so then he said, I think a final second is a final second, a buzzer is a buzzer, and this opens a floodgate as a parent. So that was kind of where he was coming from, and I felt that. But I did say to him, I said, listen, I can see both sides for sure, as usual. I do agree it's not a great look, especially for young fans, but I also understand emotions can get the best of us sometimes, and everyone makes mistakes. And he said, that's for damn sure.
Oh, I don't know if we're going to go there with LeBron. Everyone makes mistakes. You knew what you were doing walking off that court. You knew.
But come on. He's not like a robot.
Listen.
He has feelings and emotions. He was upset.
we
Remember
go.
he sent that text message and was like, we win. Like, we will win. We must win tonight.
Okay, so first of all, he also said he doesn't really care about his legacy on the floor. He said that, which I respect.
He did.
Right?
He said he cares more about what he's doing off the floor.
Let's not bail him out. There's no
Right.
need to bail him out. in
Okay,
this
so
case.
then here's the other side. Last night, Tom Brady did the same thing. Different sport, but one, it's COVID, so people were saying, oh, well, they're not really shaking hands anyway. But he didn't go over and shake the other quarterback's hand, which is customary, yeah, for them to do. But we had someone else write in and say, my friend Jay said, it's unsportsmanlike by both, but just not surprising of Brady, because that's kind of who he is. So, I don't know. I don't think it's nice. I just don't think it's respectful. Like, you should just respect everybody who's showing up and showing out, and it's just a respect thing.
And the game itself.
Right, for sure. So I think that that's something to think about. But
What's to stop me from walking off the court with 3 minutes left, down by 20? What's to stop me? Right. Down by 30 with 2 minutes left. I'm out. Right. LeBron did it. Yo, we out of here. Can't you see the high school kids doing that? Yo, we out of here.
Right, and that was his point. That was CK Flano's point, that, as a parent, you have to think about your kids, and they're looking up to him, and they're modeling their behavior after him.
I'm no judge, right? I make my mistakes. I just think he knows better.
Yeah.
Come on, he knows better.
He has kids.
He knows better. I'm telling you right now. He's grown up in the game. He knows better. He studied the game.
But what do you think, though, about the backlash that he received versus like zero backlash for Tom Brady?
Listen, Tom Brady can do no wrong in the NFL. No matter what happens, he can do no wrong. And
Not with me.
well, I'm not speaking for myself. I'm speaking for the backlash, right? So Tom Brady can do no wrong. There is no comparison in terms of how the fans feel about Tom versus how the fans feel about LeBron. LeBron has always been a controversial superstar, not because of anything he's done, just because people hate the fact that he's so good at the game, he's so efficient. And in terms of the GOAT talk, he's been out of the GOAT talk for me. And when I say GOAT, I'm thinking greatest player of all time, considering all things, right? So I go with Jordan always, and then I got to throw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in there because he doesn't get enough credit for it, right? But
Right.
when I see LeBron, I think LeBron is the most efficient player of all time. That's the title he gets. What is that? The Moet? Most efficient of all time? Moet?
I was like, what does that mean?
He's the Moat. Moet. Moet. I don't want to say Moet because that's not the same thing.
Right.
He's the Moat. And he knows it.
I don't know.
He's the most efficient. That's why he's
Okay.
killing the stat categories. He's the
He
most
is.
efficient, right?
Yes,
but
he
I
is.
think what makes a person the GOAT has to be that killer instinct. There's nothing that's going to stop you from winning. And then you can use that.
You don't think he has that?
No.
Really?
No, I don't. I think he's very strategic. I think he's very intelligent. His basketball IQ is off the charts. But there were guys who wanted it more. And if you want it that much, as a coach, I want the kid who wants it that much. We can do anything with that kid. That kid will play up, he'll play down, he'll play against 5 superstars. Give me that kid, right? Can you really say that LeBron's going to go out there and play against 5 superstars and not need that much backup? But Kobe will go out there with 4 bums. And mind you, I wasn't a Kobe fan. Jordan will go out there with bums. He did. I can name them. That's my team, right? But LeBron, when he's out there with bums, he's got to go out there and recruit a super team.
Right.
So yeah, he's the Moet.
I don't know. We're gonna have to sit on that one a little bit.
You heard it here first.
I don't know. Okay.
Beyond the journey.
Oh my.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. Love
Jimmy
him.
Butler.
Love him.
Now that's a guy that wants it.
I love the whole team.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
you talked a lot about this on the last episode.
Yeah.
But I really love I always love the underdog, always. Of course, unless it's Kansas.
That's not a thing because they're never the underdog.
Okay.
So.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're underdogs sometimes against Duke.
You know, we had an over and under in the office of how long it would take you to mention Kansas again.
What office?
I don't have an office.
I was like, I was confused by the office part.
made that up.
The bed, okay, but the office? What office? So I really like Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
He is just a dog. Like, I just love his mentality. I love Hero. All of them have such great stories, and their chemistry is so good, and their communication on the court, and they step up and they talk to each other. I love that. They play defense. Like, I love it. I love watching them play. I mean, it really sucks 2 of them got hurt, and that really set them
Bam
back.
is back.
Bam is back, but
thankfully, because he's been doing really well.
yeah, they were both averaging like 40 points a game when both of them got hurt. So
Goran Dragic has always been one of my favorite players because he's a smaller guard, but he takes it to you. And I've always been a fan of the guard. You know, Iverson. I'm a fan of the small guards who play big and play rough, like Russell Westbrook. Right. That's why I like these guys. Rondo. But I
like
really,
you, right?
you know what's funny?
I was kidding.
What's wow.
No, go.
That was fast. That bubble popped fast.
What's funny?
I was not the kind of guy that liked to play physical. I only did it when I was mad or I felt like people were cheating. But don't touch me. Don't touch my body. That's a foul. I don't like that.
Really?
Yeah. Silky smooth. I'll get through the lane and I will not get touched. I don't want to get touched. And so guys used to recognize that and they used to try to rough me up. And that's why,
of course.
That's why I used to get into a lot of fights on the court. Do not touch me.
But that's part of the game.
Not mine. Don't touch me.
It's not your game.
Don't ref. You see this? Don't touch me.
It's not your game. That's part of the game.
I'll
though.
shut this whole game down. Anyway, the other thing about Jimmy Butler, speaking of rough play,
Yes.
no threes.
I know.
In this era, no threes. Hard work.
I
Dedication.
hate that fast break, pull up from like the logo 3. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
And I know it's Curry's like signature thing and a lot of guys now, right?
Yeah.
But I can't say that. To me is so sloppy and so wasteful. You just wasted a possession.
Yeah,
I don't
agree.
understand. Why are you just chucking it up there?
I think, and you know what's funny? I promise, I can't promise you. I could almost promise you that Jimmy feels the same exact way. And I'm so happy, as I know you are, for Jimmy, the fact that he's received all this backlash, and now here he is on the championship stage. Right? And for so long, they had problems with him. Why? Because he spoke up about lazy players. Because he told the star players on his team, listen, I'll take on all of you guys with the bums. And then he did it and talked to them about it. But he was trying to motivate them. He was tired of playing with people who just didn't want to play rough, didn't want to play all 48 minutes, didn't want to come to practice early, leave late. He was tired of it, so he spoke about it, and they gave him backlash. He can't be on anybody's team. But Jimmy's one of those special people. And there's a little bit of crazy in everybody's genius in everybody's superstar. Jimmy's one of those special people where you're going to call him crazy, but then you realize we're crazy for not following him, right?
You can relate?
I can definitely relate. People have called me all sorts of things, stubborn, crazy, lazy, all because I don't follow everybody else's rules. But the things I've been able to do for and with people, they wouldn't have been done if I followed everybody else. And that actually reminds me, I was reading a letter from, this is one of the things that other people would laugh at me for. I was reading a letter from Albert Einstein to Sigmund Freud. And in there, he discusses the fact that there are often many intelligent people or intellectuals in the society, and yet they're not the ones who run the society. And that's typically because guys like Jimmy, guys like Kobe, guys like Jordan, guys like Einstein, these people who stick out, they're in a rare bracket. But because they're in a rare bracket, that makes everyone who's not in a more common bracket. And it's those common people who want to be around each other and see people like themselves in positions of authority because they can relate a little more. And so when in this letter, it was actually crazy. It was like, it's wild that we're not the ones who are making the decisions. And we somehow have to get to the people who make the decisions, even though we're clearly the smartest ones. And it just makes me wonder, like, what are our standards for leaders if we don't ever pick those people who are the intellectuals or who are the experts? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just had to say that.
No, I understand. And I would definitely say he's not. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say he kind of beats to his own drum for sure. He does things his own way. I personally appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I can relate to that for sure. I break a lot of rules.
Yeah, you do.
And I
Well, I mean, your number one phrase was, I just do what I want to do until someone tells me I can't. And I was like, what? What? That sounds like an arrest.
That is true. Well, now you're giving my secrets away.
I'm sorry.
No, but that is true. At an event that we were at, and I was taking photos, and I was like, no one told me I can't, so I'm going to go around and go where I want and take photos of what I want until someone says, excuse me, ma'am, you can't be here. Because it was like the only opportunity I was going to get. And you know what? No one ever said a word. And I got the photos I wanted, and it was great, and it all worked out, right?
I was not raised like that, so I don't know. I couldn't.
I don't do that everywhere.
I just couldn't even. I couldn't even. I have to know the rules before I break them. I can't even just assume there are no rules.
Oh, there are rules. I just decided that I was going to pretend that I didn't know them for a moment.
You know, Dave Chappelle, one of my favorite comedians in the world of all time.
I love him too.
He
Yeah,
has
he's
a
so
funny skit like that where his friend tells the officer, I didn't know I couldn't do that. So that's funny you say that.
Well, you know what? Where that kind of comes from for me is I have a younger cousin who's insanely talented. Shout out to Duncan. He's amazing. He's a photographer, director. He actually did all of that during the Obama campaign. He worked at the White House for Obama. And he came here to visit during New York Fashion Week. I don't even know how many years ago, before he was really like employed doing it. He may have still been in college, or I don't know. Anyway, he was staying with me. New York Fashion Week was happening. He has his camera always, and he would just leave for the day and just go out. So he comes back and he has these insane photos. And I'm like, how'd you get these? Where were you? And he was like, I just walked in and I had my camera and I just pretended like I was supposed to be there.
Wow.
And so we got a bunch of photos, and I was like, what?
That works.
I would never think to do that. So that's kind of where that also came from for me. I was like, when you have your camera, you act like you belong there.
So now you're going to see a bunch of Beyond the Journal supporters with cameras just walking around.
Listen,
People
I'm not
getting locked
condoning
up.
this, but you gave my secrets away, so I wanted to at least. But anyway, so that's kind of where that mentality, because I was somewhat like you in the sense that I would never do that. But then I heard that, and he got sick photos, and I was like, what? I've lived in New York for a million years. I've never even thought to do that.
That's pretty cool.
So anyway, that's where kind of the origin of that story began. So yay Jimmy Butler, yay Miami Heat. They play tonight.
Yeah, I still got the Lakers
Game
in 6.
5. Yeah, I mean,
the Lakers have to lose tonight. I'm not betting any money, but I don't bet money on sports.
Yeah, me
by the
either.
way.
I don't either.
Because anything can happen. But I still got the Lakers in 6.
I think it's rigged anyway.
Moving right along.
So
What's next?
So still on NBA. I was like just so annoyed. My friend sent me this Ted Cruz comment about the NBA ratings.
What do you say?
He basically said he hasn't watched any of the NBA because of all of the social justice issues, and he's not shocked that the ratings are down. Whatever.
Are you going to tell people who Ted Cruz is?
Oh, well, he's a senator. Yes? Senator. What? I don't even remember what state he's from.
Wow.
Anyway, I don't.
You don't like him.
I don't like him. I don't care where he lives. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. But all I know is he had the most offensive, like ignorant hashtag I've ever seen.
What was it?
It's hashtag go woke, go broke. What
does that mean?
You tell me. I don't know. But to me, that just screams I'm ignorant and I'm going to just sit here in my white privilege and pretend that none of this is real.
I think we got to remember something, right? There are people who live in our world, and then there are people who live in the financial first world, right? And so the dollar matters so much more. And when it's about the dollar, it's about optics. You need to appear to be perfect. You need to bring your product to the table without any additives or preservatives, unless we can't see them, of course, because people want to invest. And so people who spend their time around money think like this. Make it perfect for me so that I can invest. And if you do this go woke stuff, nobody's going to invest in that because that's controversial and it drives people away and it splits America up. We're not going to spend money or time on that. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
Well, that's interesting because JP Morgan just donated or pledged to give $30 billion. Was it billion? Mm-hmm. $30 billion. And Bank of America was a billion. So
optics.
Yeah, of course, optics, but there's money behind that. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they're rolling out this plan. I would love to read more about it. I haven't had a chance to. So I don't really know exactly what it means. Of course, it's optics when you put out a press release. Mm-hmm. Now let's see what the follow-through is. But those are big financial companies putting in.
Happens. Let's see what happens. Oh. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
Let's see what happens because
you said, that
optics.
shift in like your energy and this, what was that all about?
Let's see what happens because you know when big money like that is thrown around, it's hardly ever going to one place, right?
Right.
It's often tax split up. There are stipulations. There's all sorts of
course.
So let's see what happens.
Okay, we will.
Where do I want to go now?
I don't know.
Do these championships really count in 2020 is the question. That question really threw me for a loop, seeing that. Because when the bubble first started, I had vibes of the NBA lockout season that the Spurs beat the Knicks in, the shortened season. And I remember thinking, that season was like not even a real season, didn't really count to me. But that in hindsight, that championship counts. So I don't know. I guess it counts. It'll count. It'll count in the long run. It may not count right now.
So what I posted was on our story, Beyond the Journal, a study finds that 19% of fans don't think this year's NBA championship is valid. So one awesome listener, Luke Roberts, who I think is a friend of yours.
Yeah, of course. Big Luke.
So he responded and he said he really thinks it's more than 19%. And how can it be valid without a full season? Lakers couldn't do this in a full season, not end up in the finals. Fight me. Okay.
Wow.
So,
Luke, for real?
Yeah.
The Lakers wouldn't have ended up in the final. I had them coming to the finals regardless. Oh, no, I'm lying.
Okay, so then I think another friend of yours, and forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong, but B. Sarfo.
Oh yeah, Brian.
Okay, so B wrote and said, try leaving your family for months and saying that. That makes zero sense, and it's a pandemic nonsense. So
Talk about it, B.
two very different perspectives on it, and I think both of them are somewhat valid. But it's interesting that only 19% of people polled felt that this was legit.
I'm genuinely split on this because
I agree.
I feel like it's not a real season. I feel that way. But with the way the competition looks on the court, watching one game at a time, it's hard to say that this is not going to count. They're playing at the top of their game. Some of these guys. This is and this championship is a really they're going at it. So for me to say that this doesn't count doesn't feel right. But I get why it wouldn't count because
I get it because it's not a full season and there's a lot less games and there's no travel and there's so many other factors that play into it. But listen, we're doing the best we can in the most unprecedented situation. So I don't know if it's going to carry the same weight, but when we look back, maybe it carries more. I don't know, 10, 20 years from now.
You think?
Maybe.
Because of the year we're in?
Right.
That's an interesting take. I didn't
because
think about
it's 2020 and when we finally get some distance from this year, I feel like hindsight is going to be very interesting when we're older and we're able to kind of break it down and relive it. And what will be so interesting to me is what we actually keep from this experience.
I think this experience, pardon the expression, will be shoved down our throats because 2020 is also the year of the election, right?
Yeah.
So everything that's happened, this is going to be one hell of a nightcap. You understand what I mean?
Totally.
So I feel like it will be shoved down our throats.
Yeah.
The stamp, I don't even think the stamp has fully been completed yet. The stamp will be made at about November 5th. Maybe a little later.
It could get.
It could get worse.
It
right?
could be bad throughout the whole year.
Speaking of which, the debates.
I don't even.
The debates.
I don't even know what to say here.
Two separate debates. A lot of the same strategies. And
don't answer questions. Interrupt as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid. Deflect. Attack.
Overtalk.
Mm-hmm. I'm used to that around here. I'm used to some of these strategies for sure.
It's going to be interesting when you watch this back and realize that literally 15 seconds ago you cut me off. You're going to see it on the There's a film right there.
Hi. I did not. Listen, I didn't say that I didn't also do them.
Oh.
I'm just saying I'm used to
What
them.
did Trump say? He said, well, you better talk to that guy too. He's doing it too. I was like, really? How old are we?
Okay, 289 times. I do not interrupt you 289. You know what? Maybe I do. Maybe not on the air.
First of all, we're never going to put you in the same category as Trump. Why are we even?
No.
Let's not.
But yeah, no. I didn't mean that. I was just saying as an interrupter. I definitely interrupt you sometimes. And I ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
I ask questions before you can even answer the first question. I'm on to the next question.
This is a true statement. Wait,
Yeah,
so hold on. I do want to address some of their strategies because I don't want to address the debate. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I just feel like
I'm over that.
Yeah,
I can't.
and I feel like the talk about the debate really gets it gets airy. There's no real substance because the debate was full of emptiness, right?
Yeah.
It was like air pudding and wind sauce on the table. Eat up. So now when we look at the debate and those strategies, the only time they answer questions is to push their own agenda, right? But other than that, they're avoiding all these questions and they're doing all the strategies you mentioned. And I have to ask, why do people accept this from their elected officials? Like, why is this good enough? What can we do anything about this? Why is this all we have? Why is this the best of the lot?
Well, so those
unquote.
Those are two separate things. I think it's shocking to me that we have a 74 and 78-year-old men who that's the best that we could find.
That is something to think about.
I mean, I don't understand. How do we not have better candidates? First of all. Second of all, vice president is different, but you could not find two total opposites.
Oh, yeah.
In VPs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is crazy. So the thing is I totally hear you and I completely agree with you. What do you do about it though? So how do we fix that? How do we change that? I'm glad you asked because I feel like the whole system
and maybe not the whole system, but from the top down to the middle, the system is flawed because it's so much politics, because it's so much relationships, and you owe me a favor. I have this person in my pocket, so make me feel good, and then I'll make you feel good down the line, right? Because it's all about that, we never get people put into positions who actually earn it off of merit. It's always we earned it because we knew the right people or we were in the right place at the right time. We rubbed shoulders with the right people, but we're not actually given the option to elect the best person for the job. We actually get whatever the politics, whatever the government thinks we should get, we then have to take and then pick from that lot. And we never get an organic lot of people who would fit into these government positions. And I was just reading a book called Why Government is the Problem. It's not really a book. It was more of a speech by Milton Friedman, a guy who I like some of, but not all of. And he was basically saying that the government chooses what's right for us, even though they're supposed to be a tool for us. The government is supposed to be a tool for us. We were independent agents, and our states were independent agents, and we elected the federal government, or we allowed the federal government to dupe us into following their lead. Once we started following their lead, and they grew more and more national, and then they moved themselves to D.C. and set up their own jurisdiction, they took control over everything. And now we have these system followers. We have these people who follow blindly because they feel like we don't have any other options. And so because those people follow blindly, and there are a lot of them who are like Trump 2020, well, the government says it. So the government is just if you didn't see that in any other year, COVID 2020, the government is just a bunch of people. And in this case, for COVID, they didn't know any better than we did. And yet, we still follow their lead. That opened my eyes so much. And people are still following blindly like, well, I'd rather listen to the government than you. Dude, I've done more research than half of the people in the government. Have they done their research? No.
They don't need to.
And they don't, because all they have to do is please the people within the government. They don't actually have to please us. They have to please the people within the government and the people who fund the government. That's it. And then the rest of us, the labor class, as it should be called, we just get the leftovers of whatever they feel like giving us. Any space, any privileges, any rights they allow us to have. But people forget the Constitution was written for us, not the government itself, for all of us. We the people, right? Shoot, we the politics. Read a book. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's my one rant. There might be another coming.
I'm sure there is.
It's just crazy.
I'm sure.
Have to. I don't know though. Do we throw the system out, or do we make it a true democracy instead of this democratic republic? Because voting people into positions who then vote other people into positions is a flawed system. We have to put the power back in the people's hands, and we have to do away with the electoral college. We are no longer a country where only certain people should be allowed to vote because they have an education. We have more education and we have more access to knowledge now, right? With this access to knowledge, we should be allowed to utilize our own smarts to make the decisions that either benefit us or just fit us. But instead, we have these people in the positions of government who are playing politics, and the side effects of the games they play are our living conditions. That's crazy. And it's not okay. So I don't know if we throw the whole system out or we revamp it, but I do know for sure this republic is not going to work. People are still dumb, don't get me wrong, but they're not as dumb as they were in the 1800s and the late 1700s.
No. Well, yeah, there's a lot of dumb people. Don't get it twisted. But I did hear something, and I wish I would have written it down, but I do believe that the youngest generation that is now eligible to vote is the largest population that is available to vote. They are also the most educated voting class ever. And
I know I taught most of them.
And they are also the most diverse voting class ever. So we have highly educated, lots of diversity, and huge numbers. So please, if you are listening, please spread the word. Get the young voters out. Get them out and vote. It is people fought fought for this right for you to vote, most especially women. So please,
Right.
if you are capable, able, please vote. It is important. I know people always say, my vote doesn't count, my vote doesn't count. It does feel like that sometimes. I totally understand. But listen, it's never going to count if you don't vote. Like, you miss all the shots you don't take, right?
That's right.
You got to take a shot.
That's right. Michael Jordan said that.
We have to, we have to really promote it. And I even made a shirt about it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it's
got like flowers and
it's
stuff.
my tattoo.
Oh,
It's my
okay.
flower tattoo. I actually took the flower.
It's
anyway.
not really your tattoo. It's the design. Because it being your tattoo would be a little weird to have your tattoo on your shirt.
No, I hand drew this flower and it was tattooed on me.
You didn't get that
That's
joke. So do go out
Anyway.
and vote, please. And also
Okay.
vote Racor in 2032 for president.
What?
I'm announcing my bid.
You are not. You're going to law school?
No. I'm going to
So
find
then
my
you
own
can't-
way in.
Oh, that makes sense coming from you.
You have to go to law school to be president?
Yeah.
Trump went to law school?
Actually, did he? I thought you did. I thought that was.
Trump went to law school?
No, I
Come on now.
No. Wait.
George W. went to
up.
law school?
Hold up. Now
Fool me once. Fool me a couple times.
Hold on. Hold on.
Guess I'm just a fool.
Hold on. Okay.
He's so dumb.
Why? But you want to know what is so interesting? Where has he been? Have you heard a peep from that man in 4 years?
He's on a ranch chilling right now. Glad it ain't me.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Should have stuck with the weapons of mass destruction, Trump. So dumb.
Okay, hold on. So it has to be a natural born citizen, at least 35 years old, and a U.S. resident.
That's it?
So,
To be president?
For at least 14 years.
Listen.
Hold on.
listen.
Wait, what are the 5 requirements? Hold on.
Get ready to vote for me. Get ready to vote, America. 2032.
Wait. Must have lived? Yeah, those are like the top
That's it.
3.
That's it.
Uh-oh.
Clean
Where
record.
did I get that from?
I have no idea.
I just made it up
Maybe
in my
the
head.
district
See?
attorney had to go to
I
law
make
school.
my own rules, see?
No comment.
But anyway, so
Are you going to vote for me in
that's great
2032?
news.
Wow.
I don't know about that. I don't even know if I'll be talking to you by the time 2020
You don't have
over.
to talk to me to vote. Just vote. Let's move on.
I'll vote.
What about the statistic you have here about Trump and Black Americans?
Really? The NAACP put this out today that I read. 75% of Black Americans think Trump is the single most dangerous threat to African Americans. What do you think? That's a lot of people.
You know what that means, right? That means he covers more ground. That's probably what it is. Because I could think of the vigilantes as being very dangerous for Black people, as they've always been in this country. The white male vigilantes who go around bearing arms, believing that it is their job to police Black people and keep them in their place, to keep them in their place in the hierarchy, but they don't cover as much ground as Trump can if he destroys small businesses. If he adds to the way that demographics work themselves out in residential areas or just living conditions in general, I feel like Trump could possibly cover a lot of ground in terms of damage, much more ground than the police could cover, much more ground than the vigilantes could cover. Plus, a lot of these police are now loyal to him because he's always backed them up. And he's honest and open about that. And then you have your vigilante groups like the Klan and the Proud Boys. Shout out to the hashtag Proud Boys. Have you seen that?
Yes, I love it.
Put a rainbow on it.
I love it. Do you know how infuriating that must be?
I love it.
I love it too. I thought it was amazing. And leave it to the love-filled rainbow-toting gays to come up with that and just drown the internet in it. I loved it.
Yes.
Yes, queens.
Yes.
Go for it. I love it. Spread the love. I love it. You know I'm all about that. So I I was super, super excited to see the Proud Boys hashtag and all the beautiful photos that came with it. I really loved it. I thought it was genius and brilliant and amazing.
The funny thing is, I didn't know it was happening. So when I opened up my Facebook and I just saw all of these posts, I was like, what is going on here? Why are there so many people? I was like, did I miss something? Is there a holiday going on or something? And then I realized it was the hashtag and I said, yes, yes. Oh my God.
You mean yes.
Yes, queen. Like that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
I'm not that good at that.
Oh, come on. You're an actor. You can do it.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Do it.
Slow down. I don't
Come
do
on.
things on command.
Yes, you do.
Yes, queen.
See,
like that?
I
Is that
knew you
better?
had.
Is that better.
Yeah, I knew
Okay.
you had
Can
it in
we
you.
move on
I knew
now?
you had it in you.
Thank
Come on,
you
you
for
can't
that.
disappoint. You can't disappoint like
It
that.
would just be you. I think the rest of America could have done without that moment. I don't know.
No.
Yeah. All right.
Doesn't your mom like that one?
My sister does.
Your
My sister
sister.
thinks it's
I knew it
funny.
was one of 'em.
I have a character that I do whose name is Bobby, and she loves it, and she cracks up about it.
So
Shout out
see,
to my sister, by
yeah.
the way.
So see, now she's gonna be happy. She
I don't
liked
think she
that.
listens to the show, though.
Oh.
I'm not that cool. I'm her little brother. No, I'm joking. She listens to the show sometimes or something. Anyway,
Well, now you can tell her she can listen
she
because
better
you talk
listen.
about her.
She better listen.
Yeah. Hi,
back-
Jackie. Hope you're well.
Yes,
Okay, go.
and the whole fam. So
Yeah, of course.
back to Trump, win or lose, we're going to deal with him, yes? I watched a video the other day of one of the original Proud Boys, who said, if Trump loses, be prepared for a civil war, which is interesting because it came right on the heels of him explaining what he felt when Trump said, Proud Boys, stand back, stand down and stand by. He said, for us, that meant we should wait for his next order.
Of
so
course.
on the tail end of that, right? He then said, and if Trump doesn't get elected for a second term, be prepared for civil war. Wow. You're going to, so anyway, I'm not even gonna, so whatever. So Trump says that he's not trying to leave the White House, win or lose, basically.
That's what he says.
We are going to have to deal with him. I do wonder who's going to follow his command. But I'll be honest with you. I think he's doing all of this out of fear, and he has no real reason to fear. I don't think he's going to lose. I don't.
Right.
But my question is, if he wins, what then, right? Because it's his last term.
I think that's what everybody wants to know.
But
also he actually wants another term. He wants to change the law so you can run for 3 terms. But that dude there's no way. Come on. He'll be 78.
Don't say that.
I know. Well, you're right. I shouldn't say that. But he'll be 78. And I know Biden's 78 right now, but yo, we can't. Listen, I feel like there needs to be an age requirement. And I know what?
I don't think you should say stuff like that.
Why?
You're going to sound like an ageist. We're going to lose. We're going to lose our octogenarians.
No. Listen.
Those are 80-year-olds.
Okay, I know.
You knew that?
I actually did know that.
That's pretty cool that I use that word, though.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay. I'm proud of you, I guess.
Thanks.
Okay. So, no, but I feel like once you... Okay, so, you've heard people talk about this. Trump is on medication. And AOC actually went on air, did an interview, and was talking about how she doesn't feel like it makes sense for him to be medicated and making major decisions about our country. So...
Half of the people in politics are heavily medicated. They have too much access to stuff. And I know that's going to sound like an outlandish comment, but it's part of the culture, right? A lot of those people don't take care of themselves in the first place, and they drown themselves in medication, right?
No, but this is
I know he's our ambassador. He does have way too much authority
he's
and
not
control.
just like some senator.
And at the end of the day, he is Trump, right?
Right.
Which is
he's already making crazy decisions. So now we're giving him medication and now he's just running. I don't know. I'm just saying she brought that point up and it was interesting to think about. So you have his age and then you have
the medication.
But then also people have said with Biden that there are signs of dementia. With Trump, they were saying there was some psych things that he didn't pass or couldn't pass. So listen, I'm not hating on anybody, but you get to a certain age where things do not work the same way they did when you were 40. It just is facts.
Why would you phrase it
No,
like that?
not that way. Not that way.
What kind of commercial is this?
Not that way. Not that way. That's not what I meant. Like I meant your brain. Why did you have to take it there? I was all the way on mental. Like I was all the way about mental.
I've literally just left the stage and handed you the shovel. Keep digging.
No. Oh, thanks, partner.
No, but I agree with you. I do think.
Listen. Why are you throwing me under the bus like that? That's not fair. You are trying to tell me that you don't, as you age, your brain does not age as well. Your brain ages. You have memory loss.
That's a scientific fact.
Yes, see, there are people who enjoy science. I am one of them. Some people in politics. I'm talking about Trump.
Okay.
He hates science. Why'd you make that face?
Because you're getting really defensive. What's going on?
I'm not doing. Well, I don't know. You're just continuing to call me out, so I don't know.
I do agree with you though. I do think. But I think it's more than just his age. I think the age is like the icing on the cake. Well, not even the icing on the cake. It's just part of the ingredients of. You're about to cut me off?
No.
Of 278. I think it's part of the ingredients of his approach to all of this. It's just like, hey, don't worry about it. Like, we'll figure it out.
But there are people. So now you're making me feel like I need to say this, but there are people who take very, very good care of themselves. Like I've seen women and men who are like into fitness and things, take very good care of their bodies. And there's a woman in her 70s who looks way better than I do. So there are people, it's possible these, I mean, I can't speak about their personal habits, but I have read that Trump's like favorite meal is McDonald's and he eats it multiple times a week. So that's not a good way to take care of your body and brain when you're trying to be 74 and run a country. In my opinion, I am no scientist. It's just my opinion.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Forgive me for saying this. I truly felt like we were going to employ the vice president a couple of weeks ago. I was like, it's coming. Karma has hit the White House. We've got COVID.
I know.
And then I started to think, I don't know if this is a ploy for something else he wants to sell, or does he want sympathy votes?
Exactly.
Because there's always something on the other side of what we see in Trump, right? And
How
then
do
he
we even-
miraculously gets better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How do we know he even had it in the first place? It's like, see, COVID's not a big deal.
Right.
Not a big deal. Look at me.
The breathing video.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But listen to me. I do not. What?
I am listening.
Why are you
I don't know. That was just very funny timing. I'm listening. I'm ready.
Now I forgot.
Aw.
Don't do that.
He got.
You just did that.
He got better. He took some medication, you said. So we've lost Aaron, folks. I apologize. I've taken a joke too far.
I can't even keep it together right now. What are you doing to me?
No, but I do.
You totally threw me off. What was I saying?
You were saying something about the medication he took.
I don't know.
And the fact
messed
that
it up.
he had some cocktail for
No, that
COVID.
I was saying something else, but we could talk about that.
Yeah, you were telling me just before the show.
Yeah, so it was super interesting to me because we talked a little bit offline about abortion, which I am currently quite heated about. And it's interesting to me that during the debate when Pence brought up the new Supreme Court justice, excuse me, that she is, very strong in her Christian faith. That irritated me personally. Because there should be a separation, in my opinion. But not everybody believes what you believe, and and you have every right to believe that, but that doesn't make it right? So it annoyed me. But anyway, this campaign is very much against abortion and very much pro-life. And I
hate that phrase, by the way.
I do too. But we can talk about that in a minute.
It's loaded, but go ahead.
It is. So basically, The Guardian released an article today that said this magic cocktail of drugs that they gave Trump some cells from an aborted fetus were used in the cocktail. So although, and you would have to read it to get more details. I'm not going to go into it, but you can check it out, The Guardian. So basically, he's against abortion, but yet he just used aborted fetus cells as part of the medication to help cure him with COVID.
You know he's going to claim ignorance.
I don't even know if it'll even be addressed, to be quite honest.
That's true.
But I think it's very interesting. It's just so ironic that that is the case. Again, I am not a scientist. I do not know all the science behind it. Do your research, people. But it's just very interesting to me.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You know, I truly think that, as you say, I don't know if it'll even be addressed. I'm just thinking about how reluctant so many people are to know the truth or to know the facts because they'd rather just sit in their comfort, right? And I think it speaks to what you were talking about at the end of our last show, is that people, what was the quote you used? Do you remember the quote you used?
Oh, I remember.
Can we hear it, please?
I remember. It is...
Say it in a nice voice.
What is going on? What is happening? I actually don't remember.
It was
no. It's I have it right over here. Hold on. It is. Hold on. I'm going. It's truth sometimes hurts. Lies often comfort, but only one sets you free.
Right, and that's big time with this election. I cruise Facebook often just to drop knowledge on ignorant people, and they often use the same exact tactics as some of these as we've seen in the debates. They will not address the facts that I bring forth.
Of course.
And I think it's because people think, and hear me out, America, I do think a lot of people think that life's rewards are in our comforts. And I think they forget that growth happens through the discomfort, right? On the other side of that discomfort, on the other side of that hurdle, on the other side of that obstacle is a stronger, better, more capable you, right? However, people have become so accustomed to thinking, finally, I've gotten to my couch, I've gotten to my bed, I got to my shower, I'm in my sauna, or wherever you go to relax, and that's life's reward. When in all actuality, we were put here to evolve. And if you're not actually evolving, you're sitting still. And I really think our entire country has slowed down in terms of evolution. You look at our entire history as human beings, and then look at where we've come for the last, I don't know how many years, and think about it. If you take technology out of it, how have we evolved? And some people will be like, well, technology is how we evolved. Yes, but we took it too far. We've gone to a place now where all of our evolution is in technology. So our AI, our tools, our machines, they're evolving at a rapid rate, as is required by the market, as is required by the demand, right? And so if the market is demanding that and the dollar's demanding it, it's going to keep happening. Is the dollar or the market demanding that people become smarter? No, they just make the machines better. So we're not actually evolving anymore. It's just the machines that are evolving. And I have a big problem with that because we were put on this earth to first survive so that we could further our species. And the only way you're going to further your species is to evolve. What's going to happen? Either the AI is eventually going to take over and get rid of us because we will be the last mistake it has to get rid of, or the people who control the machines will take over. And then it'll just be a small population and the rest of us will go from being the labor class to the energy class where they just use us for energy. And then we're in the matrix.
Well, that's already starting to happen, first of all. But to get back to the lies part about it, it's also encouraging the lying. So the technology is encouraging the lying. So go on social media and you will see time and time again. So not only, I think people have gotten to a point too where they have lied so much on social media, they believe their own lies. They've become they're living the lie without even realizing they're living the lie. But they're living the lie for the likes and for the comments and for the hashtag goals and perfect. So you start to believe that when you start living that. And so if you can't manage yourself and your growth and your evolution, and most of that is being fueled by social media, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I
we're in trouble because these are scary times with what you're seeing. And even like we mentioned last show, everything that you're seeing is very targeted. They are studying every like, every hashtag, every search,
every swipe,
every friend, everything.
Every tap.
So everything you do, they are going, oh, well, she likes this. He likes this. Oh, he likes this. So now that's what you're starting to see. And the crazy thing to me, this is how I know people are living the lies and they don't even understand. Have you ever seen somebody on Instagram and then you see them in real life?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even talking just photos, because you can alter photos. We all know that, right? There's Facetune and Photoshop and whatever. You can do all of that. But have you ever just observed the perfectness that they post, and then how you see them real time with their kids or their family or their friends, what they're doing? There are some people who I'm like, yo, you know what you post, right? Like I saw what you.
But it's okay, right? Because not everyone.
No, it's not okay.
Hold on. It's 278. It's also okay in that it's accepted into the culture. Meaning, when we first had social media, YouTube, all that stuff, it was about people getting famous through this. So you had to do what you had to do to get famous. You had to be on there. You had to be active. People had to like you. Now, you have to post and get likes just to stay afloat in this atmosphere. You have to stay relevant. It's just like the entertainers who used to be on like reality TV, changing their hair all the time or changing their clothes just so that they could stay relevant and stay fresh. Now people find themselves doing the same thing on social media. And I'm like, you're not really who you think you are, bruh.
Yep, but
that's okay.
No, but again, that's about looking at yourself in the mirror and taking a good look. I do not post that often on social media. I don't feel that I need to share that much. I believe privacy is power, first of all. Of course, when people ask me questions or send me DMs or whatever, I'm quite open and I share a decent amount, but there's a lot of stuff that I keep private. So, and that's not to be secretive or anything. It's just I'm living a life and I'm trying to be present and I'm trying to focus on my life and better myself. Again, I am older than a lot of the people who live through social media. I understand that. There is a generational gap for sure. But I don't buy into that. I don't believe that you have to feel like you have to be posting all the time or bragging about everything you do during the day or everything you're eating. And part of me sometimes goes, I'm sorry, but why are you so special that you think everybody needs to know about every single thing you're doing during the day? Is that hateful? I don't mean to be hateful. I'm just like, okay, we get it. I saw it. I get it. Enough. Like,
but the retort will be, you don't have to look at it.
For sure.
And I don't say that to you. And why do you care? Because I'm just posting this on my page.
Totally. So. And I do, and that is valid. And so I don't look at it, and that's fine too. And I'm not judging. I really am not judging. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is I'm not here to judge. I am not perfect. I have made plenty of mistakes.
Yeah, we all have.
But I also just challenge you to really, because life is so short, and I just feel like the more that you can take a hard look at yourself and really step into your own light and your own power and be present and grow and share, share your life. Of course, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, like, let's push each other to be better. Let's push each other. Let's start a movement where we don't have to lie. And it's okay. Here's the movements that I love. This is personally what I respond to, the real raw stuff. So like one of my girls that I love, Glennon Doyle, she is all about the tough stuff in life. I mean, she's a recovering addict. She has bulimia. She has 3 kids. She was in an awful marriage. She went through all the motions, and she decided one day to light a match and blow up her whole life. And she admitted that she loved women. She fell in love with a very famous soccer player, Abby Wambach, and they created this beautiful, different, not normal family. And they're living it out loud, and they get a lot of criticism for it, but they get a lot of love too. And I really relate to that because I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, and I'm working really, really hard on myself and to change those mistakes and to make better choices. So I can relate to that. I understand that. And so to me, and I understand not everybody's going to want that.
Right.
And again, not judging, but I really just love when we can push ourselves to just be a little better, be a little more real, because then we can shift the whole spectrum. We can shift the whole narrative of social media, and we can really try to like support each other and grow.
I think it's more than just social media, though.
Right? In real life.
I think it's okay. I think
Sorry,
what
I'm
you're
like
saying,
into this right now.
No, you're cool. I think what you're saying is it goes across the board. I think people just need to be real and accept the fact that we are human, and accept the fact that, life does suck, but your job is to find those pockets of happiness that motivate you to get through those sucky times and come out better on the other end.
And the beautiful thing too about social media is I definitely have a vibe that you can maybe catch on to when you see some of my stuff. And so I've attracted more people like me, which is the beautiful thing about social media. So I wake up to DMs that are so beautiful from friends that are like, today is going to be an amazing day for you. I'm sending you so much light and positivity and positive vibes. Go kill it today.
That's cool.
Like, to wake up to messages like that, and I send them myself. So to wake up to messages like that with positive vibes and good, and just like Coach Q, right?
Yeah,
like
Coach
Q is and the positivity tribe, they're out there spreading good vibes, and here's the one thing though to keep it real, you can't be positive all the time.
That's right.
Not every day is sunshine and rainbows and roses. I get that.
What say you about a person like me who jumps off when he's not, like, if I'm not feeling it or if I'm not in a good space, I'll go days without posting because I'm either busy or I'm just not feeling it.
You go days without posting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. If you paid attention to my page, you'd notice, but you don't.
There are reasons. We don't need to address that. So so yes, you don't have to be positive all the time. Hopefully you can find your tribe, and hopefully, I don't know, we could go into this. There's like a whole, and that's the whole thing with cancel culture too. Let people live. And again, that's why I don't want to judge, because sometimes people, there are psychological factors behind this. There are things that are controlling people and they're not even aware of it. So again, what?
No, I agree with you. I also think when you start to speak psychologically, just think about the way we used to handle pictures in the past, right? We used to have albums. We used to have photos on our walls. And now when we post these pictures on Instagram or on Facebook or wherever you post them, they last for a little bit and then they sort of fizzle out, and it's not the same. And remember, photos and videos used to represent moments and memories, and now they represent likes and comments.
Right. And that's shares. So sad to me. And you know what? It could be the most beautiful, amazing moment or photo, and you get like not that many likes or not that many comments, and then that could hurt. And I hate that for people, because I'm like, don't let that determine
wasn't what it was supposed to be
beautifulness.
About.
Because I remember having a camera with film, and I remember dropping it off and having to wait like 5 days. Wow. How do you remember that? You're old enough for that?
Let's not do that.
You're old enough? Anyway, so I remember having to wait, and you know what? Do you ever remember getting your photos back and like all of them were black because the film was like overexposed, or like they had like
little
neon
the brown spot or the neon stripe through it, or the red eyes.
Do you know how disappointing that was? Oh my gosh. But there's something lost too with the physicalness, right? Like having that photo in your hand. That was everything, man. Yeah. I still have boxes full of photos. I love photos.
You have to remember, I traveled a lot as a kid, right? I was always off on my own between boarding schools, summer camps, basketball camp, visiting my aunt in Kentucky every summer. So pictures were like a huge deal for me. I didn't have a cell phone. I had a beeper, but I didn't have a cell phone to store. Yeah, I know, to store photos. So like in my dorm room, I didn't hang up posters in my dorm room in California. I had pictures of my family.
Of course.
That's how I stayed grounded. And now I look at my house, I have pictures on the wall, and I'm in my basement now, in my man cave, and I'm like, man, I gotta fill this room with energy and love. And it's cool because I can pull these pictures off of Instagram, right? But there are so many pictures that I've forgotten about because I posted them. They got like 300 likes, and I'm like, all right, cool, that's whatever. They got 300 likes. Next. And that's how we act with these moments. These are moments we're saying, all right, next. We are, what's the word I'm looking for? Our barometer for how cool a moment was, our likes and comments. And we've cheapened
social media.
We've cheapened our life experience, and we've also sped up our own timeline because it's the moments and the memories that slow life down.
And you're also so much more aware, and you have your phone out all the time to capture every moment because you can't miss the moment. You can't miss the moment because what would happen if you missed the moment and you didn't? I actually challenged myself over the last week. I record moments a lot. That's I love photos. And so I love to take photos and videos of my kids or, whatever. And they were like, it was almost like a reflex.
Yeah,
like I went to post it on my story and I was like, no, you're not going to do that because you know what? This moment is like very special and we're going to watch it and we're going to watch it together and then we'll watch it again in a day or two and I'll watch it by myself when I'm trying to fall asleep and I'm like going through my photos and I watch it and it gave me such a big smile. And it was okay that I didn't share it.
It is cool. I definitely did the same thing during the original quarantine, right? The first quarantine where my hair was growing and my son's hair was growing and we were all stuck in the house. And I was just snapping pictures and videos. And I posted like my comedy videos, right? Where I was doing like my little bits or whatever. But other than that, the photos and the videos that I was getting of just the family sitting around, it was, first of all, it was such a weird thing because as a family, we're always on the go. Everything is for the boys school, boys practice, boys activities, boys party, So we actually sat around as a family and I was like, wow, I haven't gotten video like this since my twins were babies. Wow. And I didn't want to post it. And so I think that's okay. I have a just nothing but footage from quarantine that's just going to stay there. And we're going to be able to look back at it as a family, right? And not necessarily look back at it like, oh, how many likes did this get? Right. And I know we have to close, but it stinks because this is such an important topic. Dang. All right. Well, we like to end every show with a quotation. And this week it's my turn. Hard to follow up last week's quotation, but here goes. If you're going to believe in anything on this earth, believe in your growth first. We were put here to evolve. That's all I got.
Keep growing, people.
Yes, indeed. And keep listening to Beyond the Journal with Aaron and Lawrence. It's a wrap.